My friend, you listening to me right now, I want you to ask yourself a question, a simple question, but one that holds the weight of your entire future. Here it is. When you get knocked down, what happens next? Do you stay down? Do you lie there and accept it? Or do you get up? And when you get up, are you the same person who fell? Or are you wiser? Are you stronger? Are you better? Let me tell you a story about a man you know. A man named Henry Ford. You know his name. You see his cars on the streets every day. But do you know his story? Before the Model T made him a legend, he started a company. It failed. He started a second company. It failed, too. He was thrown out of his own business. He lost the support of his investors. He faced financial ruin. He was, by any common measure, a failure. Not once, but twice. Most men would have given up. They would have said, "This dream of a horseless carriage for every family is a fantasy. It cannot be done." But Henry Ford was not most men. He did not see two failures. He saw two lessons. Two massive, expensive, painful lessons that taught him exactly what not to do. When he launched the Ford Motor Company, his third attempt, he carried those lessons with him. He had learned about business, about partners, about production. That third company did not fail. It changed the world. It put America on wheels. What was the difference between Henry Ford and the thousands of other men who failed and vanished into obscurity? It was not luck. It was not genius. It was a single, fundamental law. A law as real and as unyielding as the law of gravity. He understood the secret purpose of defeat. My friend, what I am about to share with you is that same law. It is the master key that unlocks the prison of failure and turns it into a schoolhouse of success. Listen to me now. Listen closely. Your entire life is about to change. This law is simple, but it is not easy. It requires a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing the world. The law is this: there is no such thing as failure. There are only results. There are only lessons. Every single time you try and you do not get what you want, you have been given a gift, a priceless piece of information. You have been shown a path that does not lead to your goal. This is not failure. This is data. This is experience. This is wisdom in its rawest form. Think of a ship's captain sailing across the vast ocean. He has a chart. He has a compass. He sets his course for a distant land, but a storm blows him off course. He encounters a reef he did not know was there. Does he throw up his hands and say, "I am a failure. I shall sink the ship here and now"? No, a true captain does not do that. He corrects his course. He learns the location of that reef. He notes the strength of that current. He uses that new knowledge to navigate more skillfully. He arrives at his destination not in spite of the obstacles, but wiser because of them. Your life is that ship. Your definite chief aim in life is that distant land. And every single setback, every disappointment, every so-called failure is that storm, that reef. It is not there to destroy you. It is there to teach you how to sail. Now, picture two men. The first man tries to start a business. It does not work. He loses some money. He hangs his head. He says, "I knew it. I'm not cut out for this. I'm a failure." And he quits. He goes back to a life of quiet desperation, forever believing he is not good enough. Now, picture the second man. He starts the same business. It does not work. He loses the same amount of money, but he sits down with a pen and paper. He asks himself questions. What went wrong? Was it the product? The marketing? The timing? Who did I talk to that gave me good advice? Who gave me bad advice? What did my customers really want that I did not provide? He writes it all down. He uncovers 10 reasons why his business failed. 10 lessons. 10 pieces of gold that he now owns. He takes that knowledge. He adjusts his plan. He tries again. This time, he avoids those 10 mistakes. This time, he succeeds. The experience was identical. The outcome was completely different. Why? Because one man saw a stop sign. The other man saw a detour. One man saw a tombstone. The other man saw a textbook. Which man are you? Let us dive deep into this law. Let us break it down into a practical, step-by-step process that you can use for the rest of your life. This is the core of the teaching. This is how you transform defeat into your greatest ally. The first key point is this: you must see failure as a lesson, not as a judgment, not as a final verdict, but as a lesson. This is a conscious decision. It is a choice you make before you even begin your endeavor. You must program your mind to look for the lesson the very moment things go wrong. Why must you do this? Because your natural, emotional response will be to see it as a defeat. Your ego will be bruised. You will feel shame. You will feel disappointment. These emotions are natural, but they are not useful. If you let them rule you, they will paralyze you. They will stop you from trying again. By making the conscious choice to see the lesson, you bypass the emotion. You shift from a state of feeling to a state of thinking. You take back control. You become the scientist in the laboratory of your own life. The experiment did not fail. It yielded a result. Your job is to analyze that result. How do you do this? It is brutally simple. When a plan goes awry, when a goal is not met, you must do one thing immediately. You must get a pen and a piece of paper. I am serious. The physical act of writing is powerful. It forces clarity. It makes the lesson concrete. At the top of the page, write, "What I learned from this." Then, you write down the answers to these questions. What was my original plan? What actually happened? Where was the difference? What did I assume that turned out to be wrong? What worked, even a little bit? What did not work at all? What would I do differently next time? You are not allowed to write, "I am a failure." You are only allowed to write facts and observations. You are mining for gold. You are looking for the seed of benefit in that adversity. You might be thinking, "But this is painful. I just lost money. I just got rejected. I don't want to sit down and write about it. I want to forget it." And I say to you, that is exactly why you must do it. Forgetting it is the path of weakness. Analyzing it is the path of power. The pain will fade. The lesson will remain. And that lesson will make you rich. Rich in experience. Rich in wisdom. And ultimately, rich in achievement. Consider the story of a young man named Thomas Edison. You know, he invented the electric light bulb. But do you know how? He did not just have a brilliant idea and see it work. He and his team tested thousands of different materials for the filament. Thousands. For over a year, they worked. And one after another, they all failed. A reporter came to visit him and asked, "Mr. Edison, how do you feel about failing 1,000 times?" And Edison looked at the reporter and he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He was not joking. He was not just putting on a brave face. He meant it. Every single failed filament was a lesson. It told him what material not to use. It brought him one step closer to the one that would work. He saw himself not as a failure, but as a discoverer. He was mapping the territory of impossibility, so he could find the one narrow path of possibility. That is the mindset you must adopt. You are Thomas Edison in your own life. Every failed attempt is not a failure. It is a discovery. "Ah, I have discovered another way that does not lead to my goal. Excellent. I am narrowing it down." The second key point is this: Find the good in the bad. This goes beyond just seeing the lesson. This is about actively searching for the hidden advantage, the unexpected benefit, the silver lining. Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Your job is to find that seed and plant it. Why must you do this? Because life is not a straight line. The greatest opportunities are often disguised as insurmountable problems. The person you become by overcoming a difficulty is often far more valuable than the thing you were originally seeking. By training your mind to look for the good, you develop a superpower. You become an alchemist who can turn lead into gold. You become optimistic in a way that is not naive, but powerful and intelligent. How do you do this? After you have written down your lessons, you ask yourself a new set of questions. These are the questions of the alchemist. Write them down. What skill did this force me to develop that I did not have before? What person did I meet because of this that I would not have met otherwise? What weakness in my character or my plan did this reveal that I can now fix? How has this made me stronger, tougher, or more resilient? What new door might this have opened, even if I cannot see it yet? You are looking for the collateral benefits, the hidden dividends. You might be thinking, but there is no good in this. I lost my job. My relationship ended. My project collapsed. It's all bad. And I say to you, look harder. I challenge you. Was that job really the pinnacle of your potential? Or did it make you comfortable and complacent? Losing it forces you to look for something better, to rediscover your ambition. Did that relationship reveal things about yourself you need to work on? The end of it gives you the chance to build a new, better one, starting with a better you. Did the project collapse because you were trying to do it all alone? Now you have learned the supreme importance of a mastermind alliance, of finding the right partners. There is always a seed. Always. You just have to be willing to dig in the dirt to find it. Let me tell you a story about a man named Milton Hershey, the man who gave America the Hershey bar. Before he built his chocolate empire, he was a confectioner. He started a business in Chicago. It failed. He started another in New York. It failed, too. He was broke and defeated. He had to return to his family in Pennsylvania, a man in his 30s who had accomplished nothing. That was the bad. But here was the good. In his previous failures, he had been trying to make all sorts of fancy candies. But in his travels, he had seen a German-made machine that could make caramel in a new way. He had learned about caramel. Now, back home, with nothing left to lose, he started the Lancaster Caramel Company. He focused on one thing: quality caramel. This time, he succeeded. He became a millionaire. But here is the crucial part. He used that caramel fortune to fund his real obsession, creating a recipe for milk chocolate. He built an entire town for his workers. He created an empire of sweetness. His early failures in Chicago and New York were necessary. They forced him out of the fancy candy business and into the caramel business. That caramel business gave him the capital and the knowledge to pursue his true destiny. The failure was the seed. The success was the mighty tree that grew from it. He found the good in the bad. He planted the seed. The third key point is this: try again with more knowledge. This is the action step. This is where the transformation happens. All the learning, all the searching for the good, is worthless if it does not lead to a new, improved action. You must get back in the ring. But you must not get back in the same fighter. You must get back in as a new, wiser, more strategic fighter. Why must you do this? Because desire is not enough. Faith is not enough. You must combine them with intelligent action. Trying again without the new knowledge is just stubbornness. It is foolishness. It is repeating the same mistake and expecting a different result. But trying again with the new knowledge, with the lessons burned into your mind, that is power. That is the process of evolution. That is how you climb the staircase of success. one lesson at a time. How do you do this? You take that piece of paper, the one titled, "What I Learned from This." You read it. You memorize it. Then, you create a new plan. Your new plan is built on the foundation of those lessons. If your lesson was, "I did not have enough capital," your new plan includes a detailed strategy for acquiring that capital. If your lesson was, "My product was not right for the market," your new plan starts with intensive market research. If your lesson was, "I tried to do it all alone," your new plan begins with a list of people you need in your mastermind group. You do not just try again. You try again, smarter. You adjust your aim. You recalibrate your engine. You add more fuel. And then you take the first step of the new plan immediately. Do not wait for the feeling of confidence to return. Confidence will return through action. You might be thinking, "But what if I fail again? What if I look like a fool?" And I say to you, what is the alternative? To never try again? To live the rest of your life wondering, "What if?" That is a far greater failure. That is a spiritual death. And if you fail again, so what? You will have a new set of lessons, a new set of data. You will be even wiser. You will be like a miner digging for gold. You swing your pick and you hit rock. You do not sit down and cry. You note that the gold is not in that particular spot. You move 3 feet to the left and you swing again. Every swing teaches you something. Every failure brings you closer to the mother lode. Remember Colonel Sanders, Harland Sanders. He was not always the face on the bucket of fried chicken. He was a man who had failed at everything. He was a railroad worker, an insurance salesman, a ferry operator. He tried many things. He was fired from jobs. His recipes were rejected. When he was in his 60s, he was basically broke, living on a small social security check. He had a chicken recipe and a car. He drove from restaurant to restaurant, offering to cook his chicken for the owners. He was rejected. Not once. Not 10 times. He was rejected 1,009 times. 1,009 times someone said no to him. But he had a lesson from each no. He refined his pitch. He learned what restaurant owners wanted to hear. He persisted. On the 1,010th try, he got a yes, and then another, and then Kentucky Fried Chicken was born. He tried again with more knowledge, 1,009 times. He was not a failure. He was a student, and he graduated with honors. This process is not a one-time event. It is a cycle. It is a lifestyle. You must practice it daily. You must have faith in the process, even when you cannot see the result. This is where the magic happens. This is how you program your subconscious mind for success. Your conscious mind is the captain. It makes the plans. It gives the orders. But your subconscious mind is the engine room. It is the power that drives the ship. It does not reason. It does not argue. It only obeys. It takes the orders given to it by the conscious mind, and it works day and night to bring them into reality. But how do you give orders to your subconscious? Through repetition, through emotion, through a burning desire. When you consistently practice this 3-step method, see the lesson, find the good, try again smarter, you are sending a powerful, repetitive message to your subconscious mind. You are telling it, there is no failure. There is only feedback. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. At first, your subconscious mind, conditioned by old fears, may resist. But if you are persistent, day after day, it will accept this new command. It will become your truth. It will start working for you automatically. It will begin to seek out the lessons for you. It will spot the hidden opportunities. It will give you the resilience to try again, and again, and again. This is why a burning desire is so crucial. A mild wish will be extinguished by the first gust of disappointment. But a burning desire, a white-hot obsession with your definite chief aim, will feed on disappointment. It will use the fuel of failure to grow even brighter. Your desire is the fire. Your repeated actions are the bellows that feed the flames. Your faith is the knowledge that the fire cannot be put out. You must make this a daily ritual. Every evening, review your day. Did you face a setback? Did something not go according to plan? Great. That is your raw material. Sit down for 5 minutes. Write down the lesson. Write down the seed of good. Adjust your plan for tomorrow. Do this without fail. You are not just reviewing your day. You are programming your mind for greatness. You are installing the software of success. You are building a mind that is immune to the fear of failure. A mind that sees every obstacle as a stepping stone. So now, my friend, we come to the end, and the beginning of your new life. You asked yourself a question at the start. When you get knocked down, what happens next? Now you have the answer. You get up. But you do not get up as the same person. You get up wiser. You get up stronger. You get up with a new piece of the map in your hand. The map to your own success. You have been given the law. It is not a theory. It is a law. It works for Henry Ford. It worked for Thomas Edison. It worked for Milton Hershey. It worked for Colonel Sanders. And it will work for you, but only if you use it. A law is useless if it is not applied. Here is your call to action. It is simple. It is direct. I want you to do this today, not tomorrow. Today. Think of one thing in your life right now that you consider a failure. A goal you did not reach. A plan that fell apart. A disappointment that is still weighing on you. I want you to get a pen and paper. I want you to write at the top of the page the lessons from my so-called failure, and I want you to answer the questions. What was the plan? What happened? What did I learn? What was the hidden good? And then, I want you to write the first step of a new plan. A plan based on what you now know. And I want you to take that first step within the next 24 hours. Do not delay. Do not overthink it. The power is in the doing. The transformation is in the action. You have carried this burden long enough. It is time to turn that burden into a building block. It is time to stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the master of your fate. You have the key. Now, unlock the door. Remember this. Carry it in your heart. Let it be the mantra that guides you through every storm, every adversity, every failure. Every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Go now and find that seed. Plant it. Water it with your persistence. And watch the mighty tree of your success grow.